Okay guys and girls, so for this project you are going to need some pliers or tweezers or something to hold hot metal with. You're going to need a small flat blade. You're going to need a replacement AA rechargeable cell. I use these Eneloop batteries. This is what the old cell looks like, and you do have to cut out or use your soldering iron, because you'll need one of those as well. And you'll also need solder, and you may need a Stanley blade or some form of sharp blade. They should be all the tools you need. Yeah, solder. I think that's all the stuff you need as far as I remember. So there you go. Hey there guys and girls. Well, today our electric toothbrush has just decided to die on us. Now it's been on its way out for quite some time, and my suspicions of the battery. This thing is quite old. It's a couple of years old now. We've actually got two of these toothbrushes, and both of them have the same fault. Technically we've got three, but yeah, I know, there's only four of us. We've got three of these things. One is the really old one, which still holds the charge, funnily enough, and the other ones are these two, which are the same type. I'm just testing this. I've not had this one open yet. I want to see what it's like inside. I can't remember what kind of batteries this takes, but if I remember right, the old type, the really old type, used to take a coin cell type battery, one stacked on top of each other, if that makes sense. So multiple cells. I don't know how this one's going to be inside. We'll have to have a look. But yeah, it's, I don't even know what model it is. Camera zoom on that. There we go. I have tried to open it up a few times by jamming a coin in there and then twisting it, thinking that was how you get it open. I know on the old ones you used to sit it on the charger and then just twist the whole thing sideways, and the bottom used to pop off like a bayonet fitting, like a UK light bulb bayonet fitting. I know you guys in America don't have those. I don't even know if you have these in America. There's sonic toothbrush things, electric jobbies. That's 3 settings. Fast, slow, and then like a pulse setting, which is supposed to be therapeutic or something, I don't know. I only use it on the fast one because we've got to be doing good. I'm 27 years old and I've never had a cavity or any kind of tooth problems, so they must work. Anyway, rambling, let's get this open. Okay, with a flat blade screwdriver I was able to pry the bottom off. Literally you just get it in the gap and just twist it around and around and around until eventually it comes off. It is easier to get the front off first, and then the back sort of hinges off, and there is this little spring inside which I guess stops it all from moving around too much. In terms of dirt, there is a lovely little channel here which must collect a lot of crap, so I advise you clean that out. And to get this out, I have no idea. I know the old ones used to take this collar off, but I don't think you can do that on these ones. So I guess, yeah, push it, there we go, and the whole thing slides out. One-handed, eh? How about that? And that's what's inside it. Oh, it's a lot like the old type. The button's down here on the actual circuit board, because on the toothbrush itself you press it there. On the outside, as you can see, the on-off button's there. So you're pushing here, but it's making the button click down here. And I think that comes off if you just press it in with a screwdriver. Let me just have a look at that. Probably need to do this with a few hands. Let's just have a look if this works. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, alright then. So now looking at this, oops, let's put it to the white surface. So it is, what kind of battery is that? Oh, it looks like an AA cell. Nickel metal hydride AA cell. Well, ooh, if that's the same length as a AA, I think I may have the perfect cell to replace it with. That may just fit in, judging by the length. I think that would just fit. If not, they will make it fit. Yeah, it's a little bit longer, only a tad though, but I reckon I could get it to fit in. There's plenty of space in there for like spare batteries, so I reckon I could get that to slide in there. You see it down there. I reckon that would fit. I'm going to use this Eneloop battery. I've had a lot of success with these batteries in the past. My shaver, I replaced the batteries in my shaver with these guys, and I'm not joking, my shaver now lasts a month before I have to recharge it, and that is no word of a lie. These are incredible batteries, absolutely incredible batteries. They work so good. I'm even using one in my computer mouse, which is on USB charge, but when I unplug my mouse, it goes onto my desktop rather than my laptop, which I've got a TV series at the moment. I'm watching. Got a couple of these spare as well. I did use a few of these on my in my shaver. But these batteries are really cool because rather than these crappy kind of batteries, that's a Japanese made one, so can't be that bad. But rather than these batteries, which will only take something like, oh, I don't know, 700 or 600 recharges before they start to degrade, these guys will take 2,100 charges or cycles, and the capacity is not massive on them, but it's a true reading capacity, which means that they will push out 1,900 milliamp hours. Rather than these crazy batteries that apparently push out 3 amps, you know. This pushes out almost 2 amps, well, 2 amps an hour, 2 amp hours, whatever. But yeah, it's got a little bit of damage on it actually. Don't know if that's, oh, it's just paint. It's alright, it's good cell. They're all charged and ready to go. Oh, and these also will keep a charge for, I think it's 2 years before they start to go below a certain percent. I think it's like 70%. Kick-ass batteries, you ought to check them out online there. I recommend them fully. They don't look like much, but I tell you, they're one of the best batteries, rechargeable batteries I think you can get. They do a black edition as well, I think, which is like, or is it black or gold edition, I don't know, something like that. And they're even better. Crazy. The more you pay, the better they get, I suppose. Anyway, enough talking. Let's rip this thing to shreds and try and get this circuit board out. Right. Looking at how I do this, let me get my handy dandy. That helps me out no end, even though my eyesight's pretty good. Right. It looks like I may have to unsolder these two tags here for this inductive loop recharging coil. Basically that's the secondary of a transformer, which is the charging transformer. And I guess the spring doubles up as a ferrite core. Interesting. I may have to undo that as well, which looks like it's got a symbol for a LED diode on the board. Following the two cables, they go up and do this weird pattern, like some kind of weird aerial, and yeah, they go up to what I believe is the LED diode, which tells you you're pressing on too hard. I might put some more grease in the gears They're looking a bit dry. Looks like a rebranded battery as well. If you look underneath the actual green label, there's another label underneath it with text. I should be able to get away with it. I do believe that that solder pad there is the positive one at the end of my fingernail. These ones go to the motor, these two outer ones. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll have to unsolder these anyway, just to get them out of the road. It looks like it's very easily soldered anyway. If I can undo all the clips on this side, I should be able to slide the board out this way. Let's try it out anyway. Let's see how my theory works. See you in a second. Well, the clever guys, they've actually made it quite easy to pull the thing out. The whole battery compartment actually, when you move the circuit board out of the way, slides outwards, which is quite nice. You have to pull these out the way, but the whole battery tray does slide out. I have actually started to modify this, as you can see. It's very close. The battery just sticks out just a little bit too much. Where's the battery? There. I need more hands. If I put this battery in here, how does this look on the camera? Right, so there's the battery sticking out. Now you can go by how far the coil sits on. That's upside down, that's the right way. If I put that on, it just doesn't clip up right, as you can see there. The battery still hits, but only just. I think that if I just take out a little bit more of this plastic in here, just these bits sticking up, it'll be just enough to actually get the old thing sitting in there perfect. Let's try it. Okay, so my plan of attack is with this, as you can see, I've taken the coil out, the secondary windings for the charging circuit, charging transformer. That literally just slides in and out of there, but you do have to unsolder these pads and use a solder sucker, or if you're really good, I haven't got a solder sucker sadly, I broke mine a couple of days ago. If you're really good, you can solder one tab then the other tab really quickly and then pull it at the same time, and eventually you will walk it off. I'm using one of these. It's a bit like using a bloody boxing gloves and trying to knit with them, or trying to sew a pair of socks or something. But hey ho, you got to make do with what you got. My next port of call is I'm going to undo this battery terminal here, this solder pad here, which is an earth for the battery, negative, sorry. That will then, I'll be able to then pull that out, and I think if I'm really good, I'll be able to undo this solder pad here and pull the battery at the same time, and hopefully I can pull all that out. If not, I can probably get all the solder off this one here, making sure I don't touch these very small dust-like components. That looks like a little capacitor there. And try very, very carefully to pull the battery out bottom ways. That should technically work. But technically and will work are two different things. Battery, I don't know, I'll see how it has to fit in. I may have to modify it slightly to fit the larger battery in. Or it may just go in anyway, I don't know. We'll soon find out. Anyway, stand by. Okay, right, I've unsoldered this solder pad here. And if you do that, you can bend the circuit board, well, not bend it, but you can open the circuit board into the position it is in now, exposing this positive side of the battery terminal connected to that solder pad there. I'm going to heat that up now, and with a screwdriver just push it off, and hopefully I can get this battery out. It's a very small battery. Look, it's not as big as the one I'm going to try and squeeze into it. You see there's a considerable difference in size there, but I'm pretty sure I can modify it so this one will fit. We will soon find out. Okay, battery removed. As you can see, the size difference there. Let's hope it fits. Let's stick this battery in for comparison and see how far it goes down before it gets stuck. I may have to run the soldering iron down there to melt out any bits that stick out. Yeah, there you go, it sticks out that far. There's still plenty of room in there, as you can see, so I may just put the soldering iron down there just to melt out that little bit of plastic that's in there. Then we should get the battery sitting in a bit better. There's nothing in there for it to hit. I don't know why the hell it's got that little space in there, but yeah. We will modify. Okay, there's the battery carrier now. Come on, focus. There we go. It looks a mess, but it looks pretty smooth in there now. Battery should fit in all the way, and it's still quite hot actually. This should now clip on. There you go, like it has done. See that? No gaps. So when you're modifying this, the battery needs to sit at the same height as these plastic tags that stick out. We pull the battery out. There you go, see those plastic tags? It needs to sit at the same height as those. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to solder. I'm going to take the old tags off this battery, which I'm just going to pull off. Nice and simple. Or we'll just replace them with a bit of wire. I don't know, something like, I don't know, one of these old food tag things. Plastic tie things with a bit of wire in the centre. These make very good battery leads, especially for something like this. It's not got to carry many amps, so it'll do the job quite nicely. And of course I can solder them flat as well, which is quite nice. I know you're not supposed to solder onto these, but I've done it before. I've probably done it 100 times now, and well, all the things I've done have still worked, so yeah, just I guess watch out in case you do, because I guess there's the risk of explosions, but Christ, you've got to have the heat on them for a long time. But you can also buy these Eneloop batteries with the tags already soldered on, or pressed on, however they do it, with high voltage and whatnot. And if I can pull these off and solder them back onto the other battery, they don't have to be very lightly soldered on, I will be happy. Alright, I'll pause the video here and return when I've done that. Okay, when you've done that, what you need to do now is get your positive terminal so it sticks up about that high out of the plastic. The rear one, okay, that is sticking out a little bit further than I wanted it to, but it's still enough room to get that end cap on. Just yeah, the end one, you can have that as much as you want and you can cut the excess off, it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, so now it's time to put the whole thing together again. This should slide back in, wiggle it around a bit, it'll slide all the way up to the end, and then we flip the circuit board around, solder it all together, do the same for the back. We'll see if it works. Okay, so now it's all back together again, apart from the switch. When you connect the battery up to it, this battery was fully charged. You do get the flashing red light come on, oops, telling you that the battery is apparently flat. I'm just kind of hoping that it needs to be sat back on the charging cradle to reset it, so to speak. Huh. If not, then I guess it's going to be the control circuit that is the fault on this particular toothbrush. Yeah, unless this battery is some ridiculous voltage that, you know, I don't know. Doesn't tell me that this battery is any voltages. I can't test it because it's just that flat. I suppose I could. But there's no grooves in it, it just looks like a single cell. So yeah, what I'm going to try and do now with this is, well, put the rest of it back together again, stick it on the charging cradle and see what happens. Hopefully that'll restart it and it will once again work. We will see. Okay guys and girls, I'm happy to report that the transplant has been a complete success. And the battery, yep, is the thing that was to fault. Now with the new battery in it, it is working a lot better. I had to drop it on the charger to reset it or something, I'm not sure. But as soon as it hit the charger, I took it straight off again, pushed the button and it worked, fired up no problem at all. So yeah, the problem is the battery just dies. Using an FDK battery. There is text underneath the label like I said before, but I don't know what it says. So there's no date stamp on it, which is a shame. 339PV, whatever that means. So yeah, took the tags off and soldered those onto the other battery. But yep, there you go. New and old. Like I say, I've got a couple of these Eneloop batteries, so yeah, good stuff. Good batteries. Okay guys and girls, that is the end of the video. Hope you liked it, and hey, you never know, maybe I've fixed something else that may be broken in your house, so have a check through my other videos, you never know. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.